Fighter, a video game which has the depth of a chess match and the fast pace of a football game. By using a simple 6-button controller and a joystick, players play a game that challenges their mind, relaxes, and will. Players and challengers from across the globe gather to put their skills to the test and determine who is indeed the best Street Fighter. Our guest today will talk about this and other experiences related to TV productions. Department at Norwalk Community College presents The New Directors, a show that introduces you to the television's future writers, directors, and personalities. And now to join us is our host, Courtney Madrid.
Thank you for joining us for today's edition of The New Directors. All of the people involved with this program are students in the television production course and are directing, switching, controlling audio, operating cameras, and acting as talent for the first time today. The guests you are about to meet are students who, when not on camera, are behind the scenes working hard to bring this program to you with as few mistakes as possible. Each student will write and direct 4 different productions. This program will give them the chance to talk about themselves, the productions they have completed, and give you the chance to get to know them and watch their progress throughout the semester. Our guest today is a person who plays a video game, Street Fighter, professionally and is a communications major at Norwalk Community College. Now I would like you to meet our guest today, Gerald Lingard. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
No problem.
Thank you. So, I hear that you play Street Fighter professionally. Could you tell us a little bit of what that entails?
Yeah, sure. Street Fighter, as you know, it's a simple game. It involves 2 people fighting together in a 2-dimensional environment, and you control the characters in the game with a joystick and a 6-button controller. That's usually the way people play it. It's a really fun game. It looks simple when you look at it, and it actually has I basically like to divide into 2 elements. It starts out as a checkers game. You know, you're just taking pieces, you know, you're chipping away at each other, then eventually the matches in themselves become like a chess match. You have to start reading your opponent, you have to bait moves out of them, and you know, it's a test of your reflexes, it's a test of your skill. You know, you want to get the opponent to do a certain move, the opponent's trying to get you to do a certain move, you want to lure the opponent, you're trying to get the opponent to make sure that you lure, you know, it's a back and forth process that really challenges you, like physically, you know, and mentally, and not physically in the sense of, you know, body movement, but physically in the sense of your fingers. You know, your execution has to be you know, top on there. And what you're seeing on the screen is actually a tournament that was held over my house, and I'm the character that's M. Bison, and the opponent's Cody there. And this is actually a tournament final, I believe. And pretty much the way brackets run in Street Fighter is that it's called double elimination. Basically, you get 2 chances to go ahead and win. This is the final set, I would call it, because I actually lost previously. And but you know, this video actually is just showing how intense the matchup can get, and that's why I personally like Street Fighter, because it challenges all those areas.
Kind of looks like Mortal Kombat. Yeah,
it's actually it has the same kind of feel because they're both 2D, at least the older ones anyway.
Yeah.
But you know, the Street Fighter itself, it is in its own game, and it challenges people in a different way.
Fascinating. So, can you tell us why you decided to take the TV production course?
Yeah, sure. I decided to take TV production because I've always had an interest in film and video. Starting from around the 8th grade, you know, I would try and make my own movies, and I got into video editing rather than filming video. And so this course was an opportunity for me to actually explore the other side of actually filming video. And you know, I already had a little bit of editing skills before coming into the course, and so it was fun to just learn another program like Avid, and actually learn about, you know, what it takes to, you know, actually be a good videographer.
Excellent. So what are some of the most useful things that you've learned in this course?
Some of the most useful things I've learned, I already had a bit of editing skills, and the Avid program was just, learning how to do the same thing in a different way. So, I learned a lot of how to use a lot of tools in Avid. The things that I appreciate most about learning in the course is what makes good composition. Before coming to this course, I've never even heard the term lines. I always wondered what lines, what is he talking about? Lines, grace lines, converging lines, and and then after I learned about what each of those lines meant, join lines, where they come from, you start to view the world that you're in a different way. So you drive down the street, you see lines, you see framing lines, and you also you just view the simple elements of composition and everyday nature and everyday life, and also how to use a camera, because although I had a camera at home, I didn't really use it, and because I was lazy. So when you're actually forced to go ahead and use a camera, it actually that's in itself is a challenge. And so I picked up the camera, I tried using it. Stuff went wrong, and as you see in the later projects there, but it also it was a fun learning experience, learning how the zoom in works, how the f-stop works, and how to adjust the lighting sensitivity on the camera so that things aren't like blaring in your eyes and blinding you to the point where you might be not be able to even see anything on the camera. And so making sure that the lighting situation's right, and avoiding certain points, and make sure that the light's behind someone rather than in front, or make sure it's front rather than behind. And but besides that, there are amongst other things that I've learned in this course that I've really come to appreciate.
Excellent. So I understand that you've brought some clips with you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So let's take a look at those, and could you tell us a little bit about each of the projects you've done?
Sure, definitely. I'd be happy to. The first project, I believe, is the learning project, and that was itself a learning project. It was definitely a learning project. I really wanted to show action and different angles with one person running up and down the stairs. He's running up, rushing to get his homework done, and then he's talks on the phone, gets really mad, then he runs down the stairs, and so that's what I wanted to go ahead and convey through this sequence there. I wanted the actor to be a little bit more motivated, but that's all right. Sometimes things like that can't be helped. The next project that's coming up is the fall project. This one I actually had a lot more fun doing than I thought I would. The fall project itself forced me to slow down and take a look at nature and what it could bring to what it could mean to someone, because I'm an action man. I like filming action. I like filming punches, kicks, people running up stairs, jumping off walls. And so this was a real slowdown, and I thought I wouldn't like it. I actually came to appreciate it. The last video here is actually the orange project that we did. This is raw footage, so it's not put together, but this was filmed using all of my friends that used to live with me, or that I lived around. And this is raw footage, and actually has the setting of a General Orange and his two men trying to infiltrate a compound. Me and my friends had a lot of fun doing this, trying to convey action scenes. There were guns there, Nerf guns, but they were actually pretty fun to go ahead and film. And this raw footage here actually just shows them trying to go ahead and perform the acting, which they actually were not bad actors for the first time around. So I was actually really impressed with their skill, and as well as with mine, trying to go ahead and to film all of it.
Amazing. Yeah. So you have one project that you feel strongly is your best project. Mm-hmm. So let's look at that and with some audio, and let's talk about that.
Okay. I believe my best project here is the fall foliage project, and that project, like I said, it challenged me to go ahead and look at nature in a different way, and see exactly what I could do when challenged with something of a different course. I say it's my best one because I think I did a really good job of trying to present what fall looked like in Connecticut, even though I thought I wouldn't be able to do a good job of that. And I mean, the clips are from, you know, where I worked, where I lived, and where I go to school. And so I wanted to convey Connecticut in that, you know, Connecticut from my perspective, because that's where I am. You know, 4 days of the week I'm at work, 3 days I'm at school, and, you know, the rest I'm at home. So I wanted to convey fall in that perspective for this project.
Beautiful. So, what are the most interesting and important skills that you have learned in this TV production course?
The most interesting and skills that I think I've learned is actually handling the camera.
Really?
I mean, from learning in the classroom, you know, what the f-stop does, and closing and opening the aperture to make sure that you're getting the right amount of light into the camera, from positioning the camera at certain angles to going ahead and making sure that continuity is straight in all of your scenes, so that you don't have, you know, clips just dodging together. And you know, and even from making sure that when you're filming something that, you know, people are entering a scene, to make sure that you don't have to have you know, that same effect of clips just, you know, coming together to the point of where the where you actually have a nice flowing string of video already on your camera, to the point that when you edit, it's not like a difficult task of making sure that things are flowing from one to another. It's what I learned from the class is that if you follow the process all the way through, if you take your time with each and every single part of the process, from storyboards to filming to editing, it all comes together nicely, and your work really shows through your final project or whatever you have done. And that itself was a really important skill to learn. It's built up from the ground up from the beginning of the class, and it's impounded to you at the end of the class. And so, you know, it's always there. It's just up to, you know, you to follow it. And for the most part, I think I followed it. I mean, I might be a little lazy or unorganized here and there, but you know, it's I really appreciate the class in that perspective.
Amazing. Today we got to meet someone who wants to take their directing skills to the next level and direct feature-length films. By using the skills obtained in the TV production course, he hopes to accomplish this goal. I would like to thank our guest, Gerald, for joining us today. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your
No
busy
problem.
schedule.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you. We hope you enjoyed meeting some of television's future directors, and we hope you will continue to join us each week to watch our progress. Thank you and good day.
So, yeah. I think I had to, you know, yeah.
This has been The New Directors with your host, Courtney Madrid, directed by Eric Hahn. I am your announcer, Jordan Mills. This has been a Nora Community College student production.